Mr. Martin, have I uploaded OP Khanna book? I think I have uploaded. This is screen is visible, isn't it? Hello? Is the screen visible, Martin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because yesterday I noticed that screen was not visible when I was going through my recorded lecture. Yesterday's lecture, I think in the beginning the screen was visible, but later on the screen was not visible, and nobody, unfortunately, brought it to my notice. So I was, I think, going on talking only, and so actually it was because of internet connectivity. So in case I am talking, I am presenting, and if the screen is not visible, it's my request that you please bring it to my notice. I
Okay, sir.
came to know when it was, when I was going through the recorded lecture. Just to take a review, we have completed module 1, that is Introduction to Industrial Engineering, Productivity, Method Study, Work Measurement, Job Evaluation and Wage Plan. So for Job Evaluation and Wage Plan, you can refer OP Khanna. Other modules or sub modules, whatever you say, you can refer to the PPTs. Value analysis, what is value engineering, ergonomics, especially ergonomics has wide applications in automobile vehicle assembly lines. Then, oh, most important, that was PMTS or most. Most was most important, 5 to 10 marks. That is manual operation sequence techniques, and OSHA standard, that is occupational health. So before we move to the human resource management, I'll just like to share some links which will be helpful for you. That is how the now we are going for this, that is human resource management. What is that is introduction to HRM management thought, what is historical developments, what is virtual HRE learning, HRIS. Then what are the safety and OSHA standards for HR? Differences of HR with, see, usually the people think that human resource and personal management both are same, but that is not so. It is different. Just a minute. There's HOD. Yeah, so I was just going through the syllabus. So this is human resource management, human behavior. This is mostly related to all HR, industrial relations. So this itself is a separate subject. So there is a clear-cut difference between human resource and personal management. Earlier it was same, but almost for 15 years, there are two different departments. One is personal department, another is HR department. So that differences also we will see. So, Martin, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how the HR development took place in India? HR, as you know, it stands for human resources. I mean, there are, technology. Now there are two things. Some industries they believe in human resources, some they believe in technology. That's why you can see some industries working totally unmanned, fully automated, and this is most common in advanced countries where there is a shortage of acute labors. So they have no choice but to go for unmanned operations or ghost factory or fully automation. Countries like us, we can say it's in between manual and fully automations. Like our some plants, they are totally manual. Some plants are not fully automatic but semi-automatic. So these are the functions of human resource management, that is training, administration, attendance, leave management, performance management, skill management, how to use the resources, personal data management, and even how to allocate the resources to the production team. As of tomorrow, you will be production manager. Suppose if you demand, I want 50 peoples, you have to justify why do you want 50 peoples. So accordingly, you will be allocated. If you are able to convince, fine. Otherwise, means you have to justify. So this is the content. The human resource management it concerned with the practices which are involved in the acquisition, that is to acquire, to develop. Then motivation is most important, and obviously you have to maintain. hmm, You have to maintain that zeal. You have to maintain the feel of the peoples. You have to see that the peoples or the human resources they work with their heart. Not like that 9 to 5 तो 9 बजे आए, looking at the clock, 5 o'clock they punched out and they move out. ऐसा नहीं होना. So there is a difference human resource management and human resource development. So human resource management it is concerned with the practices involved in the acquisition, development, motivation and maintenance, and HRD, that is human resource development, to develop available manpower through suitable methods such as training, promotions, transfers. So here this is like a generating function, and here this is like development, मतलब जो है उनको ही develop करो. Means you have suppose a machinist, so you develop him in such a way that tomorrow he can be promoted as a supervisor. So you don't have to recruit supervisor from outside, or you have a production supervisor You developed in such a way that tomorrow, since he knows all the aspects of production, tomorrow he can work as a marketing engineer or he will become marketing manager. This is what is called as a human resource development, which is more important in any industry. Instead of recruiting people from outside, and that's why most of the MNCs like L&T, huh, there it is very difficult to get the job in the middle level. And there, if you see, most of the peoples they join, even the chairman. If you see, he has joined as a GET, and then for a period, for a period of say 40 years, he has promoted as CEO. No doubt they recruit the peoples at middle level also, but that is very less. So they believe in human resource development, that is development of their existing staff, existing people. So earlier it was personal administration, now it is human resource management because there is a difference between personal management and human resource. There is something called as the Kautilya's Arthashastra, Chanakya Niti. So its origin is dated back to 1800 before century, before Christ, when wage and incentive plans were included in this Babylonian code of Hammurabi. Arthashastra was written by Kautilya 400 before Christ, and it was very popular also. In India, we can say that HRM would be traced from 1920, and major emphasis was in worker welfare. In 1931, the labor officer was appointed, and this position is still there in many big companies. Labor officer, big companies like Bombay Dyeing, Muscat Dock, you will find labor officer. Those who are quite old companies, like those companies which have their footprints right from 60s or 50s, you will see the position of the labor officer. So immediately after independence, the focus was on four reasons. That is discipline, which is most important. Then do not allow unions to form, do not encourage leadership. Then to handle recruitment, termination, that is before retirement, and to keep a data of attendance and personal records. Then Indian industrialization 1, 2, 3, industry 1, industry 2, industry 3, 4. So as the industrialization progresses, three more functions were added. That is labor welfare. The people realized that they should not only exploit the peoples, but they should also think of labor welfare. Then only the peoples will stay with them. It's not only the prosperity of employer, not only the prosperity of industry, but everybody should come together. So this is what everybody should come together and everybody should prosper. Everybody should grow. That is what the philosophy was in second phase. It's a growth of everyone. This was influenced, because of the Western style of working. Because of the Western style of working. Then you have third phase, fourth phase, fifth phase. So in 1970, you can see people management. This is what how the evolution is taking place. In 1970, the people management function was divided into two, that is personal officer and establishment officer, and still you can see these positions still, like you go to BEST, that is Bombay Electric Supply and Transport Company, whose head office is at Kolaba, as well as here at Vadala depot, that is near to Dadar. So there you can see establishment officer as well as personal officer. So there is a clear cut difference between these two. Then slowly worker training institution, the attitudinal development, the focus on this started. In fifth phase, that is 1985, organization shifted towards making HR department separately altogether. Earlier it was a part of the production, but 1985 say it was totally. Now still here also, still now also, now if you go for small scale companies, like companies having 10 peoples, or 20 peoples or 30 peoples, the HR is handled by proprietor itself. Those were proprietorship company. But still, even though proprietorship company also, he keeps one person, at least minimum one person, who takes care of HR, that is attendance bolo, leave bolo, salary calculations. One dedicated person is required. 1990s, motivation and stress were considered to bring change in HRM. Stress management. Stress management itself is a subject now, introduced in one semester. Focus was on organization and objectives. Seventh phase, 1990s, industrial relations, how to encourage, how to develop industrial relations, more focus on training and development, information system, digitization. One question will be asked definitely on historical development of the HRM. Now in 1999, HRM was not a selective management anymore. It became the part of the corporate strategy, formulation, and strategy intervention team. So this is what the changing face of HR is. Right from administration officer, welfare officer, personal manager, industrial relation manager to HRM, and finally transformed HR and strategic agent. So you have HR experts here. They have clear business understanding, clear business differentiator. They have vision, and well-defined skill sets. So in a tabular form, 1920 to 1930, it was a beginning. Emphasis was on welfare, and the role was like this. That is basically it was clerical, you know, disciplinary. Then it was like a cane type of approach. Chadi, चलो नहीं जम रहा है जाओ, प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो रहा है फटके ले लो, ठीक है, काइंड ऑफ एक्सप्लॉयटेशंस. 40s to 60s स्ट्रगलिंग फॉर रिकॉग्निशन. एचआर आ गया, आईआर आ गया. द रोल वाज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव. Leave was introduced, bonus, retirement. Hmm. Now let me tell you, some companies they still do not believe on leave. You may find little uh, surprising. Hmm. No defined leaves. Mostly, you know, most of the companies they have like 8 casual leaves, 12 sick leaves, then 30 privilege leaves, like that. But the latest trend is that no defined leaves. If you want leave, if you really want leave, take leave as much as possible. Take jitna chahiye. If you want leave means you take leave. And there are peoples who are working without leave because they say that we don't need leave, we don't want leave, especially in the foreign countries. And अगर मेरे को बराबर नहीं है, तबीयत नहीं बराबर है तो नहीं है, आई कैनॉट कम, आई कैनॉट फंक्शन, आई कैनॉट वर्क, आई नीड अ लीव, ले लो छुट्टी. ऐसे there are some people who do not fall sick years and years, so why it's not necessary. ऐसा इधर के जैसा ट्रेंड नहीं है कि अभी 12 सिक लीव है तो मेरे को कैसा भी करके कंज्यूम करना ही है. तो इवन दो हियर अभी माइंडसेट कैसा रहता है, सॉरी, कि 12 सिक लीव है तो कैसा भी उसको खत्म करने का, डॉक्टर का सर्टिफिकेट या कुछ भी लगा के. सीएल है तो कैसा भी करके खत्म, मतलब इवन दो इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, आई विल सिट एट होम. And that's why the trend is normally in the month of December the leave gets exhausted. So trend is लास्ट वीक में सारा छुट्टी डालने का और वसूली काइंड ऑफ. बट फॉरेन कल्चर, अगर आपको छुट्टी चाहिए तो ले लो, चाहिए मीन्स चाहिए. If you want to enjoy, if you want to give time to your family, if you want to spare some time with the family, please proceed with pay, not without pay. Bachelors, if you want some refreshment or bachelors parties, yes, please proceed. No restrictions. 70 to 90 80, strong industrial relations, mostly managerial. This kind of benefit, housing, medical leave, loans. Some companies also started giving quarters, and that was very wonderful, giving start quarters. Even certain medium-sized companies or even some small-sized companies also started giving housing because they understood that if they provide, quarters, then lot of time is saved because of traveling, and not only time, but the efforts or the energy. Like in Bombay, we spend a lot of energy in traveling, commuting. We get so tired. So sometimes this traveling itself is more tiring than working. Traveling itself is a big project. Reaching workplace and reaching home safely is again a big task. टेंशन कभी कभी काम करने का नहीं आता है, टेंशन आने जाने का आता है, रियली. एंड इन दिस पैंडेमिक वर्किंग फ्रॉम होम वाज सो डिलाइटिंग कि अभी ऑफिस में जाना और ऑफिस से आना बोलेगा तो उससे ही डर जाते हैं. अरे वापस 2 घंटा ट्रैवल करो, 2 घंटा जाने के लिए, 2 घंटा आने के लिए, वही खिचड़ी. हाँ. So this worked like anything. Many small scale and medium scale companies they had even small cottages, small hut kind of things, with a common bathroom and this thing, and where the workers, and not only workers, even some key persons they allowed to stay with their family also. So depending upon the company size, like Godrej, so they have very good quarters for officers colony, workers colony. Air India, very good quarters. Again for workers, for officers, RBI. So that was a kind of a motivation also. 1990s, executive formulating policies, training and development programs. So from welfare officer to the through labor manager, personal management, human resource management to this human capital. So this is how the evolution takes place. So HR, as I said, it is human resources. So according to Professor Lane, the term HRD was first applied in 1968 in George Washington University. So, like this few sentence, I will request you to introduce or write in your answer in evaluation. अपने को पूरा मतलब मैग्नीफाइंग लेंस लेके पूरा हिस्ट्री लिखने का नहीं है, बट फ्यू सेंटेंसेस. Larsen and Tobro, and it was little interest. It is interesting also. Uh, was the first company to design and implement the HRD concept in 1975. And I gave an example, no, that the peoples or the staff who joined as a GET, that is graduate engineer training, he has risen to the positions, and not only one example, many examples. He has risen to the position of CEO. It's only because of these good policies, HR policies. And that was the first company to begin with in 1975, with an objective of facilitating growth of employees, especially people at the lower levels. And not really at the lower levels, even at the middle level also. And their policies are such fantastic policies. Like suppose if you are at a GET, or if you are promoted, or if you are a manager, if you are a GM, then their perks, their facilities go on adding. If you are now suppose a general manager, so you will be given a new house. Like earlier, suppose if it is for a supervisor, if it is say 1 BHK, for the manager it will be 2 BHK, for the general manager it will be 3 BHK, like that. Compulsorily he has to move if you are promoted. You cannot say no, no, because they believe that you have to stay as per your standard. This is sometimes my personal opinion is slightly against the teamwork, because that creates a difference, you know between the ranks, that is higher level staying in bungalows and lower level staying in sharing rooms. It should be more or less same, more or less equal. That concept of equality was not there here. Like if you see in Japan, so there you will not see different canteens for different levels. Only in one canteen. In that canteen, even the helper is also taking lunch, and even the manager is also taking lunch in the same canteen, same food, same presentation. Whereas here, I'm sorry to say, but you will see the differences. Worker canteen, manager ka canteen, top management ka canteen. So top management, they will have fantastic juices. So this is something is not encouraged. This is something is not good. Of course, we are happy, fine. If we are happy, people are happy. Okay, go ahead. In public sector government, BHEL, Bhaba, you know, or Bharat, it is Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, which introduced this concept in 1980, HRD ka concept. In UK and USA, it is voluntary, as I said. If you want leave, please take leave. Okay. If you are sick, yes, you are sick. So you take sick leave. Nobody is going to ask you. Yeah, either suppose if you want to take 2 days sick leave, then you have to produce the certificates. Then such kind of certificates are available. How is personal management different from human resource management? So personal function What is the point of discussion? That is, if you talk about orientation, in terms of orientation, so personal function is maintenance oriented, whereas HRM is development oriented. They looks for the development. As an engineer also you should see that you should be engaged in developmental activities. You should be engaged in developmental activities. Just a minute. Yes, wanted to check. You should not stuck in the routine activities as an engineer. Or even tomorrow, if you have your own company, you may be entrepreneur. You have to see that you grow your company, you develop your company. So you should be development oriented. That is what is difference between maintenance oriented. Maintenance oriented मतलब क्या? Routine activities. Doing routine activities. मतलब 10 mm का ड्रिल मार रहा है बस, सुबह को भी वही 10 mm का ड्रिल, दोपहर को भी वही, शाम को भी वही, नेक्स्ट डे भी वही, next month, next year also same thing. That is what is called as the maintenance oriented or routine oriented. Okay. Development means you are doing development. क्यों कर रहा हूँ मैं ड्रिलिंग? Can I totally eliminate this drilling? That is what is called as the development. Drilling का जरूरत है क्या? Shall I eliminate drilling, or can it be there any other alternative? Structure wise point, an independent function with independent sub function, whereas here it is HRM is interdependent. Interdependent with production, marketing, concurrent. Philosophy, personal department, reactive, responding to events when they occur. So it is like a curative. It is like curative. मतलब आप बीमार पड़ो then we will see. और HRM आप बीमार नहीं पड़ने का. Okay, so it is like a preventive. This is like they believe in preventive type of philosophy. Responsibility, exclusive responsibility of personal department. Here, responsibility of all managers in the organization. These people, they are responsible like this. So here, totally, at complete responsibility of the industry. Here, motivators, monetary rewards. Personal department, they believe in monetary reward, matlab cash. Where here, it's not necessary that only cash will motivate. Sometimes the esteem needs like respect. Some people like that, I should be respected. मेरे को पैसा नहीं चाहिए. I should have authorities. Some people enjoy authorities. ऐसे पैसा नहीं मिलेगा चलेगा, इंक्रीमेंट नहीं मिलेगा तो चलेगा, लेकिन they like the authorities. Like I can sign your leave form. I will not allow you to go on leave. This kind of authorities. ऐसा. Yeah, I can allow you to purchase up to 5,000 rupees. So like that. Outcomes. Improved performance is a result of improved satisfaction and morale. Here, outcome is better use of human resources leads to improved satisfaction. Here, human resources are used in better way. Aims, it tries to improve the efficiency of the people and administration. Here, it tries to develop the organization as a whole and its culture. So this is at a global level and more focus is on development. So in respect to time and planning perspective, so this is personal management, this is short term, this is long term. Psychological contract, HRM is commitment, they are committed. Personal management, compliance. Compliance means just executing. एग्जीक्यूटिंग, मतलब कैसा बोलते हैं ना, दे आर नॉट इनोवेटिव, मतलब जो बोला है वो करने का, ऐसा. कंट्रोल सिस्टम, सो they have external controls, where HRM self control, everybody should control on their own. hmm? ऐसा नहीं है कि देर इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट इज माई मैनेजमेंट दे डोंट बिलीव इन लीव, so that doesn't mean कि I will keep on taking leaves. So I'll control myself. ऐसा है, I will take leave only when necessary, only when required. If you talk about employee relations perspective, then there is low trust, low, whereas HRM believes in trust. That's why मैंने लीव का एग्जांपल दिया. There is a trust on you. When you are asking for leave, we trust. We don't ask you to produce any documentary evidence. If you are sick for 3 days, we believe you are sick. We don't want sick leave certificate from the doctor. यहाँ पे नहीं, एक दिन भी, or more than moment to exceeds one more day, 2 days sick, produce a sick leave certificate. Yes, sir. Sometimes what happen, many of the, like suppose if you are sick, like fever है या सर्दी खांसी headache है, so if you take rest for 1 day or 2 day, even without approaching doctor, just take a rest, you feel better. Many, we know this, but personal department, personal management, they don't believe in this case. नहीं, आपको डॉक्टर से सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए, देन ओनली यू विल गेट दैट 2 days लीव. HRM, नो, 2 days leave, 3 days leave, 4 days leave without medical certificate allowed. The structure is here bureaucratic, mechanistic, mechanical, routine, centralized. Here, HRM में flexible roles. In terms of roles, this is, they have specialists or they have professionals. Here, HRM, they are integrated with or integrated into line managers, production line management, production purchase managers, service managers. Personal management believes in cost minimization, whereas HRM, they believe in utilization, maximum utilization. And this is what you have to see, that once you have good utilization or once you have maximum utilization, the profits you are going to get if you have proper utilization. Don't directly chase, the cost minimization. Don't go for cost minimization, go for utilization. For you also, don't run after the money will use you to develop yourself in such a way that money will run after you, not you run after money. So you develop yourself in such a way that money will run after you, and it is possible. It is possible. Money will come automatically to you if you develop yourself. So in this is what is in chronological sequence. Commodity sequence concept. Earlier it was considered or it was referred like a commodity. Then production concept आ गया. Then goodwill concept आ गया. That is welfare concept. Then paternalistic, that is like a father, how the father used to scold his child, so with a cane or with a whip. Then humanitarian, like human touch, humanity. Then human resource concept, developmental concept. And then this was the final, that is HRD concept. So there were some issues 1920, 1970s ka. No training, no development, poor working environment. Lack of, that's why there was lack of involvement of workers. Jobs were not defined properly. Employees turnover, मतलब एम्प्लॉय आज आया कल चला गया. This is the old company and this is a new job. He is running after. Sometimes even if no monetary because of the work environment. hmm, and work environment मतलब is not necessarily कि AC चाहिए. hmm, even how the peoples are. Sometimes some companies, the people they stay for, even though it is small company or medium sized companies, I have seen many companies, people's they are working for 40 years and even after retirement also. Why? Because of the family atmosphere. और ऐसा भी नहीं कि they are paid very highly, but still the people's you know have been staying for 40, 45 years even after retirement, just because of the family approach of the proprietor or of the partner. This is what is important. So HRM arrived lately in India. HRD arrived lately in India. Then there were some problems with the newly arrived HR, like this low motivations, this fighting you can see in the picture, recommendation, biased, unbiased. There were no appraisal, performance appraisal. Then promotion was based only on seniority. आपका 10 साल हो गया. So even if somebody is there with 5 years, but who has proven himself, he will not be promoted. Corrupt practices, for the promotions under the table. बड़ा बड़ा कंपनी में ऐसा even in government organization happens for the seniority, for the promotions, for the transfers. No proper decisions. So why HRD? Why HRM? Because of the globalization in 1990, Rajiv Gandhi period. He was the first who allowed, who encouraged globalization, who allowed foreign companies, who invited foreign companies to invest in India. And there was a resistance, the local peoples, local companies, they were resisting. And it's only because of his policies we could prosper. Technological advances. He was the only one who encouraged, who promoted computerization, workforce diversity, change in political and legal environment, change in economic environment. Workforce diversity, there was, regional politics, and still it is there. They don't allow, peoples or laborers from other state or from other areas. Some unions, some kind of a dadagiri. So that is not good for company. It has to be a cosmopolitan culture. Of course, now the union's role is deteriorating. So they should focus on productivity, quality, that is HRD, innovation. They should be ready to change. Hmm. More focus on research and development. Even R&D is not necessarily that it should be for the product. That research and development is a part of HR also. Proper compensation and benefits. So this is what should be in HR. There has to be proper hierarchy. So you have HR management at the top, followed by administrative, manager, HRD manager, uh, personal manager, industrial relation manager, then again in HRD manager, like this. Mm. Then again administration manager, he has, canteens, medical facilities, transport facilities. L&T, they have the maximum number of transport facilities. L&T. भाईंदर बोलो, बोरिवली बोलो, गोरिवली बोलो, coverage in western lines as well as coverage in central lines. They had a separate, well established maintenance department for transport, like BEST, Bombay Electric Supply and Transport Company. उनका maintenance is supposed to be the best in Asia. BEST का maintenance is supposed to be best in Asia. They have very less number of failures. BST का breakdowns on the road very negligible, hardly one or two. उनका सेंट्रलाइज डेपो, आप वडाला जाएंगे, सो दे हैव सेंट्रलाइज वर्कशॉप मेंटेनेंस. So that kind of maintenance facilities, this L&T, they have one, one unit, like gate number 7, gate number 5, gate number 6, like that. There was one unit only for transport facilities, only for maintaining transport. So that is a kind of a facilities they had given to their staff. So why it is important? Because that is going to help you for organization growth, for work culture development, for growth of employees. What are the drivers of contemporary Indian HRM trends? Which drivers means which are the factors? So from traditional welfare HRM to market driven strategic HR, from operational focus to brand India focus, from system maintenance to collective performance bonds, from local mindset to global mindsets. So these are the drivers which are helpful or which are useful for human resource development. So in future you will have this business focus solution, customer segmentation, business analytics. So if it has to be concluded, so this is a period where HR professional, that is human resource professionals, have started focusing more on developmental aspects of human resources, more emphasis on harmony. It's an organization, so everybody is treated in a harmony, no unbiasing. So development of HR has come to occupy a center stage and focal point of discussion everywhere. This is what, again, just a repetition, that is summarize. Personal department, from strategic to talent, from business function to business partner to business integration, from payroll system to compensation management to performance management. See, for you also, you have to be here. You are now, to you are enjoying, but when you go to the corporate world, so there you have to perform. Every day is a exam. अभी तो एग्जाम यूनिट टेस्ट 1, यूनिट टेस्ट 2 और सेमेस्टर एग्जाम. But when you join industry, every day is an exam. When you are working in a responsible position, every day you have to perform. These are the references which is for the bibliography in case if you want to learn more. Okay, so we'll continue this journey next time. Thank you very much. If you have doubts, please ask. Please feel free to ask.
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.